Everyone, in our last lesson, we were talking about graphing horizontal lines. So moving lines graphing lines that were flat and moved left to right. Today we're going to be looking at graphing vertical lines. Vertical, we know, moves up and down or from top to bottom. So in our vocabulary word today, we're going to look at vertical lines. And vertical lines, these are lines that are up and down, or you could say top to bottom. Again, they are straight lines. Okay, so oopsies, what is going on with my pen? My pen! Straight lines here that go up and down. Okay, there is the only slope that it has is straight up, straight down. Okay, when we're looking at vertical lines, they run like the y-axis runs up and down. So if you think back to our last lesson around horizontal lines, we talked about how in horizontal lines we know what y is, and it includes every x value. In the vertical one, we know x values, but we do not know the y value. Okay, so here we know the x value. We do not know the y value. So let's go ahead and see what the very first example is. All right, example A says to graph x equals 2. So we know that x is 2. We do not know y. So we're going to start out just like we did last time, and we're going to graph x is 2. So on my piece of graph paper here, I am going to look for x equals 2. So here's my x line, and I'm just going to go over to x is 2. I'm going to say that because I put a dot here at x is 2, I did not move either up or down, so I had 0 as my initial y value. So my ordered pair is x is 2, but y then is 0. We can then look at this and say, okay, well, we don't know what y is. Because y is 0, y could be anything and everything that falls within the y-axis. So when we know the x value, we don't necessarily know what y is. If I say that y is 7, I'm going to go up to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My x value is still 2. Look, I still end up with a dot on this line. Maybe y is negative 2. 1, 2. My x value is still 2. So no matter what I do and whatever dot I put for y, it's always going to end up on this straight line because x, no matter what, is 2. X value never changes. That creates a vertical line, a line that runs up and down, top to bottom. It includes all the y values. Okay, let's look at another example. So our next example that we are going to look at is when x equals negative 1. So, example B, we're going to graph when x equals -1. So when x equals -1, again, we don't know what the y value is. So we're going to start out by graphing x equals -1. We're going to graph what we know. We know that that x is -1. So I'm just going to go to x. Here's my x, and I'm going to go to -1, which is right here, and put a dot. I am on the 0 for y. 0 is y. So y is going to equal 0 when we don't know what it is. So our first initial thing is negative, or ordered pair is -1, 0. And this tells us that y could be possibly anything. Y encompasses every single value. It doesn't matter if I tell you that y equals 7. My output is still going to be x is -1. So if I go over to -1 and go to 7, I'm still there. If I tell you that y equals -3, my x value is still -1. -1, -1, 2, 3. I'm still going to fall within this line. What if it's y equals -9? Why do I make myself count so much? My x value is still -1. Boom, over to -1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It doesn't matter. It's still, when I connect these dots, I will still get a line that runs vertically up and down, top to bottom. So when it tells me the x value, I am going to end up with a vertical line. When I know the y value, I will end up with a horizontal line. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and give you your try-its for today so that you can try graphing horizontal line or vertical lines yourself. All right. Alrighty. So try it number 1. Try it number 1. It says that x equals -4. And try it number 2. Try it number 2 says that x equals 1/2. All right, your job is to graph both of these. Graph them for me. Tell me what you get. Go ahead and hit pause right now so you don't hear me solving, and then when you are ready, come on back and check your work. All right, so my first one says that x is -4. So here's my x. I'm just going to do x is -4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm on the negative side. I don't know what y is. Y could be anything. So I'm going to say y is 0. And I am going to draw a vertical line. Y can include anything. +8, -92, +833. I really don't want to count that high. But again, it could be any of these things. So right here, this is line number 1. This is x comma y. We have -4, 0. So our ordered pair is -4, 0. All right, in this one, x is 1/2. So we're going to go start at 0. We're going to go to 1/2. There's 1. 1/2 is in between. And it's going to include all of those values that are in between. because x never changes, your line will always be straight up and down. So there's line number 2. Your 1/2, comma 0, y value is going to be 0 until we know what the y value is. So until they tell us, you will have a vertical line that runs up and down. It can include every single y value known to the universe. Okay, I would like for you to please go ahead and answer your essential question. How do you graph vertical lines? So your essential question, how do we graph a vertical line? What information is needed? How do you know it's going to end up vertical? Why does it end up vertical? And then go ahead and put your level of understanding out to the side. Where are you at with this process? Sometimes these can be confusing, so you kind of have to think a little bit backwards. And then when you are finished, come on back to the Google Meet and ask for help, or you can go and do your practice work. Thank you for all of your hard work and effort, and make it a great day.